Welcome back for whoever came back, whoever might be back. See, hi Selma. Hey Norman Price. Hey Lee. Appreciate you guys being here. What's new, Selma? Came across a quote from a famous, I forget his name, Moses something or another. He's a famous Kabbalist. Hey Nightmare. Kabbalah, of course, is Jewish mysticism. Every religion has a deeply mystical path as well. Christianity doesn't have a given name. Well, you could say the Gnostics, but not all Christian mystics were Gnostics. Islam has the Sufis. You guys know hey grandma of three. Hello, my friend. What's up, Nightmare? You know the twirling dervishes? Those were the Sufis. This is still the Sufis. Someone says happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you, someone. Someone says I miss you. Always here for you, my friend. And in Hindu yoga, you have the Advaitist. He says, thank you, Grandma. And Judaism, it's Kabbalah. So this is a quote from a famous Kabbalist. God is all reality, but not all reality is God. I haven't quite wrapped my mind around that. But I'm working on it. So also let's talk about what's coming up. Grandma says, I have to tell you what happened to me, Yogi. I'm going to email you. You would not believe what happened to me. I'm looking forward to it. Please send me the email. I hope it's good stuff, my friend. Hey, Sniper. Selma is with her boyfriend, Jackson. I'm glad you're with Jackson. Seems like a good guy. I hope he's a good guy. Someone says, Mars, happy Monday. Yes, it is. Hey, Jessica. Jessica, how are you? Hey, Adam. Adam, thanks for the talk today. Adam, I don't know if you heard me read this quote from a Kabbalist. It was Moses Cornovro. Moses Cornovro. Why was that so hard to pronounce? In which he said, God is all reality, but not all reality is God. Funny that I came across that after we all had that discussion on reality. Where are we? Adam says, hi, Selma. I'm glad you're happy with your boyfriend. Jessica says, I'm okay. I'm glad you're okay. Hey, Squiddy McBooger. That could make for an unhappy life now, couldn't it? Adam says, my son has an awesome girlfriend. Well, that's nice. I've made my peace with the blue meanies, Adam. Tiger King says, can you do me a favor, please? Maybe. Hey, Carl. Carl says, good night, everyone. Good night, my friend. Adam says, oh, you're welcome. Yogi, I loved it. Me too. Someone says, who's your son, girlfriend's name, Adam? Is that Lily or Lily? Adam says, hey, Tiger King, nice reset. What's a reset today? Watch it with the boys. Hey, L Dog. Welcome back, my friend. Hey, young Davo. What did young Davo have to say? That what's up, Unc? Is that what that means? Not much, my friend. He says, Carl, how are you? Adam says she wants to be a forsonic scientist. Well, hey, medic. Medic says, since it got cold here in the UK, I was thinking what animal I would like to be. I decided to be a little otter. Little otter. He is, old dog. Good driver's here. What's up, medic, by the way? It's nice to see you. Good driver says, well, Scott Adams, big fan. Gilbert, right? He wrote Gilbert, I think. He fell on some hard times, I think. Largely got canceled. Adam says that's correct if the dream perception is real. What's up, Michael? Neil says, love from. Okay, where's the flag from? I apologize for not knowing. I should know. Help me out here, guys. Still sleepy. Carl says, was Sydney all rain? Well, thank you, Carl. We got a little bit of rain last week, but we're probably overdue for more. My Yank, did I get that right? Says, hey, Yugi, what's up? Hello, my friend. Thanks for coming in. Old Dog says, Carl, it's been a rainy day. Hey, Old Dog, I don't know if I ever asked, where are you located? My Yank says, how you doing? I'm doing good, my friend. I froze out. It's the Blue Meanie's fault, Adam. It's hot in Colombia. How hot is it, Soma? Gil says, if truly yogi, you can answer my question. Well, remember, I'm just a yogi. And as just a yogi, I really don't need to pass the test of anyone. Someone says, hi, Neil. Freestyle says, where are you from? I'm from the East Coast of the United States. Medic says, state of Maryland. Just been making content, probably lose my monetization in a few days. Why will you lose your monetization, Medic? I didn't think you could lose it unless you ran afoul of the regulations, which I do my utmost not to. Let's see. Adam says, you know, I'm dying for this question. Which kind of yogi doesn't know Indian's flag? The one who doesn't know flags. That would be the one. Let's see. So that was the question. Let's see. Aldok says, I can already tell winter's going to be hard. Did I miss? Did I miss where you said you were from, Eldog? I don't think I ever asked you before. Oh, there you go. In UK, Newcastle. Gotcha, my friend. Adam says, hey, Yogi, I really like how you answered the belonging question. Great question. And it gave us a great topic to talk about. Someone says, the boyfriends want Samaria. Oh, so this is the question. Why did God create everything? What was the sole reason for making everything? What makes you think he made everything? I'll answer your question with my question. What makes you think God made everything? Oh, I did ask before. Sorry, All Dog. Hey, Tiger King. I thought you had a favor. Neil says, why does God need the universe? Who said he did need the universe? It's two separate questions. How do you know there's even such a thing as a universe, and what makes you think someone controls it? Michael says, save that nightmare. Medic says, more to the point, who made God? There you go. Pippa says, Neil, the universe is within reach. Oddly enough, I'm going through an old book of mine, The Disappearance of the Universe, Gary Renard. By the way, I think in December, Gary Renard, who is a master teacher of A Course in Miracles, might be coming up for an interview for his new book. Man, I hope that works out. Adam says, the Dang Yogi just tells it like it is. Well, I have no inside scoop. We all have a story. One story, a universe. Nice. Namer says that would be a cool guest, Yogi. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this week. As mentioned, tomorrow Miss Flipper comes up and we're going to talk all things Course in Miracle. Great beard. You better work it, honey. I'm working it, babe. I'm doing my best. Tuesday afternoon, best-selling author and philosopher Tim Freak. Tim Freak is going to surprise you guys. You might not think that he's had an awakening from his awakening. He is not he used to be considered what would be a non-duality teacher, but he sort of had like I said, a reawakening. You should read all the Vedas. What makes you think I haven't read all the Vedas? Let's see. Greetings, FXD. Adam says, I like the Vedas, but I just can't remember all the characters. Big fan of Krishna. Yeah, I had his poster hanging up. Blacklight, 1970s. So many assumptions and never enough time. If you have answered but you didn't answer any of my questions, then it's my channel. I get to do what I want. If you have read all the Vedas, you would have answered my questions. I think I actually did give an answer when you think about it. Who said there's something in control? Alduck says, Aussie Minerals, K. You know what? It's a belief, not a knowing. Oh, and then Tuesday night. Let me get back on track. Tuesday night, Sniper will come up. Sniper, again, let me know if you want to. Well, it doesn't matter. Tuesday night is Sniper's show. If you want to do part 2 of dowsing, or if you want to space that out, again, entirely up to you. And instead, I know a lot of people had questions for you on, all kinds of stuff. It was a fun talk. Wednesday. I don't think anyone's coming up Wednesday that I can remember. Are you saying tomato? In that case, I'm going to have to say tomato. Tuesday night is the pesky. Where'd that go? Is the pesky squirrels night? It is. It is. Remote viewing. Do you want to cover that? Says you have too much anger within you, which is making you frustrated and impatient. You would lose the word my. First, nothing is yours or mine. Me? Huh. I don't remember saying anything about mine. But hey, that's okay. Percolated Fish says, I think the highest form of enlightenment is seeing God's face on everything from a 2x4 to a newborn baby squirrel. I like that. Medic says, my mindset is that every question has an answer, but is that really the case? Yeah, at a certain point, I don't think you need an answer. That's the whole nature of self-inquiry, is getting to the point where you don't need an answer any longer. Here's what I found. If I need an answer, I just go to Neil and I ask him. It's been very helpful so far. Adam says, Neil, you are the master of the poking stick. Tomato, says Sniper. Point well made, Sniper. Do not try to control others. Do not try to control others, Neil. Others need, others Neil. Sniper says, Nightmare. Man, I can't pronounce that. I'm not even going to try. Thursday. My friend James Plath, another author, he wrote a wonderful book. I'm reading it, I think, for the third time right now. The Gospel of Astonishment. Hello from Russia, my friend. Thanks for coming in. Yogi Wine Kenobi says, Eldog. Thank you, Eldog. Guten Tag, Rusky. From Russia with love. Carl says YouTube is getting shut down for the night. For everyone or Ireland, Carl? Neil said, I would like to see you smile more. I smile fairly often. I do smile fairly often. But hey, Neil, I appreciate that. We could all probably smile more. Emma says, I still can't pronounce that, Nightmare. Rado is the name of the pesky squirrel, Eric. Gotcha. I just can't pronounce it, though. Sniper says, Neil, and I would like you to turn up more often. Adam says, I would agree with that, Neil. He has a great smile. Well, thank you, Adam. Carl says, for me, I'm not liked. Carl, you certainly liked. I know everyone here likes you. Everyone in my live stream, every single one of my live streams likes you quite a bit. Dog says, Carl gives him a hug. Petri, apologize for mispronouncing your name. If it makes you feel any better, I mispronounce my own name quite a bit. Neil says, do you have any kids? I have a stepchild who just sent me a text the other day, which is always says, guys, give me 1 second. 1 second. This is my friend's book. It will be up on Thursday afternoon. The Gospel of Astonishment. Pick a page, and I'll read something out of it. Any page from, I don't want to say 1. Any page from 11 to 263. Peter says 71. Gotcha, my friend. All right, he's actually quoting Deepak Chopra here. Consciousness is singular, that all happenings are played out in one universal consciousness, and that there is no multiplicity of selves. There is no multiplicity of selves. Nightmare says, hey, send me a message with you attempting it. Hey, Nino, my friend, how are you? To be fair, Yogi, I have no idea how to pronounce Ratatowski. All right, got it. Yep, Neil says, I see the autobiography of a yogi behind you. Well, he's actually saying we are not unique. Course in Miracles says the same thing, that we're not unique. We're not special. Because how can you be special when everything is one? There can only be sameness. However, so Neil, let's talk about the universe. Let's talk about the making of the universe. The Course in Miracles is very similar to Vedanta, and I know you're probably familiar with all this. Um, nope, we're not insignificant either. If we are of God, how could we ever be insignificant? Hey, Cora. Cora said, I'm glad I can make it. I'm glad you can make it too. Um, so we are neither special nor insignificant. We are neither special nor not special. We are every single wave from the ocean is unique and beautiful, but it's never separate from the ocean itself. It will crest, it'll show itself, it'll live that unique life of a wave, and then it crashes back into the ocean. When another wave goes up, is it the same wave or a different wave? It's still the ocean, though, no matter what. So, to answer the question, why did God create the universe, which is what our friend Neil asked, according to Vedanta, thank you, Nightmare. According to Vedanta and A Course in Miracles, God didn't create the universe. The universe is a dream, Maya, illusion, of our own creation. It's not that God sits outside of the universe, because that will imply there's a separation. It's that this universe itself is a dream. It's Maya, illusion. It does not exist. We are asleep within the mind of God. If you go back to Genesis, Genesis says that Adam fell into a deep sleep. Yet nowhere in the rest of the Bible does it ever say that Adam woke up. We are asleep in the primordial Adam, creation, a thought in the mind of God. Dreaming, by mistake, this universe. That's the message of disappearance of the universe. And hopefully Gary will be up and he can talk about that sometime. This is what my friend James talks about. Pick another page if you want. I'll read something else. Chef Mary says, Yogi, please support my new video. I will, Mary. You got it, my friend. Always. Chef Mary is a good friend, guys. I hope you subscribe to her. Hey, Neil. I have not clicked on your channel. Petri says, what are we? We are thoughts within ideas, thoughts within the mind of God. There's the idea of Petri. There's the idea of Yogi. There's the idea of Sniper. And yet, ideas leave not their source. So we are still of and as the source itself. Entropy belongs to the universe. It does belong to the universe. But if the universe is a dream, if the universe is Maya, then entropy itself only exists within the illusion. Thank you, Chef Mary. Chef Mary says, like done. I have your channel up. And I will be there right after my live stream. Preacher says, I rarely dream in my sleep. Now, according to yogic psychology, everyone always dreams. It's the third state of consciousness. But we don't always remember our dreams. Carl says, I'll always be single. You never know. You know, I got married on my 40th birthday. Probably, maybe not the best idea. Neil says, well, I asked the question because there has been no mention in any text about why God created Earth Maya, or why he had the urge to create everything, even Maya or the dream state. So what if God didn't create that? If there's I mentioned this in this afternoon's live stream, if there was an all-loving God, would God have created such a world in which children are allowed to starve, in which wars happen all the time, where there's crime, neighbor against neighbor? That's not true, Carl. I bet you quite a few would have you. You got a wonderful personality, good-looking guy. Cap keeps talking about what a great set of hair that you have. Is it a set of hair? A bunch of hair? Don't ask me. And you got a beautiful singing voice. Hey, Keith. Keith says sorting would be easier if we didn't have to go out in public. You think so? Hey, Reinhardt. Jack Sear says, "What's up, big bro?" Not much, my friend. So Reinhardt, have I asked this before? Are you going to be playing in a league this year, a hockey league? Jack says hello to everyone. Nightmare says people forget the whole free will thing. We had a great talk about that. What was it, last week, Adam? Is there really free will? And if there is, who is it that has free will? If you say me, who are you? The you that you identify with doesn't exist. No neuroscience can cut open the brain and find a nightmare. Not this particular nightmare. Doesn't exist. So if the ego, the identification of who we think we are, doesn't exist, then who is it that actually has free will? And yet there's clearly something that decides. It's a quandary, a paradox. Tim Freak calls it paralogical. In the end, logic gives way to the paradox, and you have to be able to have an all-embracing view. Is there free will? No. Is there not free will? No. That's the paradox. But who was Andrew, Nightmare? That's the thing. If you keep asking, if your parents named you Bob, who would you be? If you had a different parent, if you had a different father, different mother, who would you be? If you went to a different school, if your great grandparents had a different faith, everything that you can identify as an atom doesn't exist, really, doesn't truly exist. And you can say, well, my thoughts, but you're not your thoughts. You're the observer of your thoughts. If there's an observer of the thoughts, the observer has to be pure awareness, has to be awareness, can't be a physical entity. Hey, Thunder. How can I be in a dream when I am a creator? I create paintings from my ideas. I take color materials, put them on canvas, and create eye-catching images that can send messages to people. First off, that's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. I absolutely love all creators, all artists. But when you are in a dream at night, are you always aware that you're dreaming? Hey, Dolly. Stephen says, "These sub Neil for when you do." If I missed some comments, let me know, guys. What do you think of Charlie Kirk? It's a thorny question. I wrote about that today. I didn't mention him by name. I mourn the death of anyone. I mourn the death of anyone who was assassinated. I mourn the death of anyone who died for their ideas. But I don't like a single idea that Charlie Kirk had. Neil says, sounds like a plot of Inception. Believe it or not, I never saw Inception. So you're saying that we are dreaming in our dreams, which is all part of God's dream? Then according to the theory, soul doesn't exist. Not in an individual sense. Which is basically what Buddha was alluding to when he broke from his own Hindu faith. He could find nothing that was lasting in his own deep meditation. He could find nothing that was lasting that would carry over from one life to the next. And yet, he also talked about rebirth. Now, in the Zen tradition, rebirth is a little different than reincarnation. Rebirth would be the molecules of Leonardo da Vinci existing within me right now, in which they do. Every breath you take, you're taking in molecules that someone else centuries and centuries and centuries ago breathed in. Keith says, in my healing services, I ask what would be beautiful for your life to be like to bring healing. Nice. I like that, Keith. Adam says, Petrie, we are many creators. Carl says, Happy iDog on other social medias? I didn't quite get that, Carl. Jack says, no, I'm not playing in the hockey league anymore. I can't risk getting hurt. Gotcha. I have to work for my family, and I'm going to be 43 this year, brother. I understand. Understand for sure. I'm glad that you're having so much fun in your training, though. Except says Thunder just fishing like you are. Here, all about unconditional love. I haven't really been following the conversation here with Thunder. Sorry, my friend. Mine creates truth and illusion. Minnie creates some truth and illusion. Nightmare says, not sure I understand, sir. It's a hard thing to grasp. And in fact, I think it's beyond being able to be grasped. There is no Andrew. That is both liberating and it can be a little bit disconcerting as well. It sets you free. There's no expectations that you have to fit. Phoenix says, well, I wish I was part of this conversation. This is what I was talking about today. Which part, Phoenix? It says Thunder, half of America got fired this weekend. Do you still have your job? Jack says, I'm just training the kids and having fun for all of you. Hey, I really am enjoying all of your content. Adam says, yeah, Dal, Yogi explains things so clearly. I hope so. Some things. Oh, so the last person, Friday, Tom Thompson, founder of the Awakened Heart Center in North Carolina. He is hey, Neil, you still here? My title on my channel is Just a Yogi. I am someone who's practiced yoga for a long time, but I am by no means a fully realized awakened yogi. I absolutely love yoga, all of it. I am a meditation teacher, certified through the Chopra Foundation, and I am a twice certified breathwork pranayama coach. I do have 200-hour teaching certification in yoga, and I've taken countless classes in yoga psychology and yoga philosophy. However, I certainly don't know everything. I certainly don't even know a lot. But my friend Tom, who's coming up, is a yogi's yogi. He has been doing this since the 1960s. He has sat with some of the most realized people ever. He'll be up on Friday. We're going to talk about, I can't wait to tell this to Sissy. We're going to talk about the pain body as presented by Eckhart Tolle, but he's also going to answer some questions on Kundalini, if you all have some. Reinhardt says, I'm happy you can enjoy my family channel. That makes me happy. Thank you for doing it, Jack. I really believe that you bring a lot of joy to a lot of people. Hello, my friend. It's sorry I can't pronounce your name, but I'm happy that you're here too. Adam gives a wave to the Reinhardts. Adam says that all of here. Me too. Carl says, I have to wonder why managing moderation can't comment on shorts. Yeah, I don't know why they do that, Carl. It doesn't make sense, does it? Old Dog says, Carl, I noticed that too. Armada says, why do you say that you're not fully awakened? Because I am still in the dream. Anyone who is still in the dream is still of the dream. Still immersed in Maya, still drawn into the ego games, still batting things around. That's okay though. I'm not searching for enlightenment. I'm not searching even for awakening. I've had awakening experiences. I've had moments where the ego dropped away completely in deep meditation, even in regular, just standing around life. I've had it completely happen. I always come back. It's okay. Course in Miracles talks about we all awaken from the dream together or we don't awaken at all. So I got time. You guys wait for me, I'll wait for you. But here's the thing, we can begin to dream a happier dream. That's what I'm interested in, that happier dream. Can I define yoga in 7 words? How about 2? Non-separation. Or how about 1? Yoke. Join. Odak says, Sniper, funny story. I think Trolls changed the name to Sniper because I've unblocked 3 snipers. Yo says, which basically what happened when Cooper tried to interact with his daughter inside a wormhole, which he couldn't because of the principle. So the molecule theory that you mentioned contradicts to science. Does it contradict science? I mean, molecules last a long, long, long time. I think we could look that up. I think you could Google that and let me know. Carl says it never went up. You are welcome to sometime, Carl. Yep, you asked me that before, Tiger King. What's the favor? I can't say yes until I know the favor. Sniper says there can only be 1 squirrel sniper. It's a full-time job. Grandma of 3 says hello. Hello, Grandma. I appreciate you being here. Hey, Heavenly. Heavenly, how are you, my friend? Heavenly says, I'm okay. Little brother's in his resting place. Prayers, Heavenly. Prayers, my friend. Dolly sending love. Carl says, don't miss me too much. We would miss you, Carl. Thunder says, you're not in control of your dreams. I have been at times. Grandma says, you're very talented, Yogi. Love it. Thank you, Grandma. I can definitely talk a lot, as you guys can tell. Adam says, so interesting, Thunder. I find the word of the astral very fascinating. Yep, many people here have had moments, entire dreams, or maybe even complete control. I know people who have actually experienced full awareness in their dreams as well as being under anesthesia. Imagine that. Heavy says, miss you, brother L Dog. Armada says, if awakening means removing your care for the physical world, I'm not a proponent. So awakening would be the realization that there actually is no physical world. You can say maybe a subtle difference. Neil says, become truly enlightened. I think you need to let everything go. I let go of any desire first. What do you think? That's interesting. So Neil, what do you think? To want to let everything go, isn't that still a desire? And would that one desire keep you from being fully enlightened? I think you're definitely onto something, but man, how do you get there? I remember reading autobiography of a yogi. All he wanted for the vast majority of his life was to be enlightened, to have that enlightened experience. And he would beg his guru, literally beg, to bestow it upon him. He kept saying no. But I believe it was when he gave up the thought. There's a great Zen master from Zhangzhou, from Korea. He said, wanting enlightenment is a big mistake. Title of the book. It's a wonderful book. Family says, been lurking in the background, Heavenly. Adam says, heart matters. I think the Course would tell you that you can enjoy the dream. In fact, you will see a happy dream. Yes, absolutely. But eventually, to awaken is giving up the dream completely. Adam says, I'm pretty sure Einstein believed in God. What a fun time he had. I think there was a quote when he said he believed in Spinoza's God. You guys want to know who Spinoza's God is? It's a good question. The first thing that came up. He was a pantheist, believing that consciousness imbued all things. And I don't think he often used the word God, but he did use the word consciousness. So Spinoza's God. And Einstein was quoted when he was asked, do you believe in God? And he said, I believe in Spinoza's God. An impersonal, infinite substance identified with nature and the entire universe, meaning God is not a transient conscious being, but the totality of existence itself. The pantheistic concept views everything as part of this divine substance, governed by necessary natural laws, rather than a divine will. Spinoza's God is not a personal, providential deity who answers prayers, but rather the underlying reality and reason of all things, a conception that influenced later thinkers like Albert Einstein. Imagine that, Einstein coming across his theory of relativity because his deep belief in Spinoza's God. Remind me, before we close down the live stream tonight, I'm going to play a song by Toy Pops. Emily says, oh, so your favorite thing to do? Brother Nightmare, what is Nightmare's favorite thing to do? Oh, lurking? Yeah, I see him lurking about. Tiger King says, my hero died this morning. So sad, I cry my favorite. He can do 1 minute silence on channel. Freaky Hatton Boxing, he takes his only life this morning. Eric, please. I'm sorry to hear that, Blue Moon. Guys, this is for our friend Blue Moon. His favorite, his hero, has passed away, took his own life. Always a sad thing when anyone takes their own life. 3 rings of the bell. Freaky Hatton. Tiger King, it was for you, for being a good friend. That was for your hero, Ricky Hatton. And again, always a tragedy. Thank you, Dolly. Toy Pups has made it. I just mentioned your name, Toy Pups. You were summoned. We manifested Toy Pups. I didn't know that, Pedri. I'm surprised L Dog didn't say that. Einstein means run rock from German language. Hey, Sue. Sue, how are you? This is Tiger King. Just had a Google, so sorry. Heart Matter says, why would that be a good thing? Wouldn't suffering increase the more people became enlightened because they would stop helping others? Well, no. So we could say enlightenment from a yogic perspective, from a Buddhist perspective, is when the ego is seen completely through and is no longer identified with. Without the ego, we don't need. Now we're getting into unconditional territory. We don't care about this person, this person, this person. We care about people. Our heart is wide open. We help. There is the tradition of the Bodhisattva, which is one who is right there, right on that verge of awakening, but he forswears awakening so he can continuously coming back to help other people as awaken as well. So if you want to end suffering, you can go out in the world and you can attempt to feed people. You can protest wars. You can fight crime. You can do all kinds of stuff. None of that's ever worked. You want proof? Look at the world. Course in Miracles says, if you want to change the world, really they say, do not seek to change the world, seek to change how you see the world. Imagine if your consciousness was transformed, Heart Matter, to one that no longer recognized the suffering of the world as being real and yet still help people. At the same time, it causes a spark and someone else and someone else and someone else, in which case the world that we see would no longer be acceptable. We have all the resources in the world to feed everyone who needs a meal within days. And yet collectively, we decide otherwise. Hey, Solana girl, how are you, my friend? So selectively, we choose otherwise. Full awareness doesn't mean being in control. Well, who were there to be in control? Snapper says, Adam, what did Tesla say about Einstein? What did Tesla say? I know he did not like Edison. Preacher says, if I give my love to my wife and receive it back and unify my molecules 1 second and become one piece of material with two pure souls in a stop time, if we were in a dream, it means we can do it. I like that thought, Petri. I like that thought. Hey, legendary princess. I hope you're having a great night too, my friend. That was a good question, though, Heart Matter. Then it says, why do you call hallucinations an awakening? What exactly are you waking up from? I'm not sure I said the word hallucination, though, did I? What we're waking up from would be the grip of the ego, believing that we are small, separate selves. Well, how far behind am I? I'm not that far behind. Ahmed, how are you, my friend? When you're lost in life, need to read the Quran and follow Allah. Well, thank you for that suggestion, my friend. We have quite a few Muslims who come in, and they would all agree with you. Our friend Superchamp would certainly agree with you. Teacher says, my soul is kind of smashed down right now. Can it be healed in a dream? It's a good question. The soul itself can never be, whatever our conception of a soul, can never be smashed down. The soul can never be harmed. The soul can never, ever be damaged in any way whatsoever. But the ego can. The more we relate to the ego, the more we suffer. The more that we relate to spirit, the less we suffer. Hey, Pancake. Oh, you like those? The nice bucks, all three of them in a row? Man, one the other day was sharpening its horns, antlers. Teacher says, thanks, Yogi. You're welcome, my friend. Thank you. It's the message of God. Ahmed, thank you. They argued about free energy and energy created dirty and costly to the general public. Is that Einstein or was that Edison? Then he says, which cult is this? Take your pick. We haven't really gotten a name for it yet. Do you have a good suggestion? Neil says, who do you pray to? Jesus, Krishna, or Allah? None of the above, really. Although I like to have conversations with Jesus and Krishna. I would let you know why I don't pray that way sometime, but probably not tonight. Hey, Darren. Then he said, oh, I already read that. What about you, Neil? Oh, thanks, Super Champ. Super Champ, I was just talking about you. Our friend Ahmad is giving us the message of the Quran. He says, my ego is part of my soul or my brain. It is part of your brain. And the thing is, it doesn't really exist. The soul doesn't even recognize the ego. The soul would be the pure essence. We could say the soul and the Holy Spirit are the same thing. Aldog says, all religions are branches of the same tree, shadowed to the same object. Nicely said, Aldog. Adam says, Petri, love is in the air. It's a good song. And I want you to breathe it in deep. And Yogi is a breath champ. We find a loving hand in the strangest places. We sure do. So the monkey god. Um, I like that devotion. Adam says, Willy Wonka quotes, we are the dreamers of the dream. We are the dreamer of the dream. Edison, gotcha. That's what I thought, Sniper. Jack says, because it's hard to tell you on the live. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. Eric, I wrote you a comment on your short. Make sure to read it when you get the chance, brother. I will. Right after we end this live stream, which maybe 15, 20 minutes. Having a fun time. We got new people coming in. A lot of quick-witted banter from you guys, man. Keeping me on my toes. It's an important thing. Let me take my nighttime supplement. This is just 1 milligram of melatonin. Got it. Super champ. Thanks, my friend. I will catch up with you guys in just a minute. All right, where were we? Ram Dass was also worshipped Hanuman. Freeman says, Allah, you joke me, but not right. Read it. Oh my God, big time nasty. What do you mean, Tiger King? L Dog says, Yogi anti crazy pills in 51ish minutes. I should have taken that a long time ago. All points to guard or Krishna. All point back. All points back. Adam says, hey man, I'm making mean Kool-Aid. I'm in. If you don't take those pills, he grows an afro overnight. Just a yogi and an afro in his basement? That should have been the title. Feature says, who or what created a developer my ego? That's the funny thing. The ego was never actually created. Now, I'm going by what is said by Course in Miracles as well as yogic psychology, as well as Buddhism. The ego was never actually created. It is part of the dream. So here's the metaphysics of a course, that we were at one time happy ideas within the mind of God, existing. We could say idea and soul as the same thing, but all existing within the mind of God. We were endowed with all of the powers of the Creator itself, except for one. We could not create ourselves. An impossibility, because we were already created. And yet we wanted specialness. We wanted uniqueness. We wanted God to recognize us as separate and apart from each other and from Him, which is one thing that God could not do. It's an impossibility. How can you recognize anything outside of yourself? How can God, all encompassing reality itself, recognize an idea within its mind as being separate from the mind itself? But we had that, what the Course called a tiny mad idea, what astrophysics called the Big Bang, what yoga and Buddhism would call the creation of the breath of Brahma, the creation of the universe itself. That tiny mad idea, what would it be like? And because we were endowed with all that creative power, we created a world, a universe in which we appear to be separate from God. But it's just a dream. It's just an illusion. It's Maya, illusory. But here we are, soul asleep in the mind of God, and yet caught in this dream. So the ego is that belief system that we are small. However, we're not stranded here without help. We have the connection to God, the connection outside of the dream to reality itself, the Holy Spirit, or we could say Krishna consciousness or Christ consciousness. Um, but in our minds, they're split. The ego, which is creating this universe, keeping us separate and small, keeping us violent, keeping us, you know, us. And we have the Holy Spirit, which is always quiet and is always urging love and always urging love and always urging love. Which one we listen to is the world in which we are going to create. Hey, Barefoot. Barefoot says, I was reading about Jung last night and ego death. It was interesting. We were talking about him this afternoon, Adam and I. And Edison was a patenting genius. That's a distinction there, isn't it? Heart Matter says, I'm not sure that ego is a thing that most people have. I don't think babies have ego. When I think about how much my brain actually works physically, there is no need for an ego to function. All right. Some of that I would agree with myself. Some people believe, some schools of psychology believe, and even some mystical traditions, the ego doesn't come into play until we're about 2. Yogic tradition says that the samskaras, that which carries over, possibly from lifetime to lifetime, means that we come in fully formed with these emotional imprints already at birth, and then we just accumulate more. Speaking of Jung, that would be what he would call the shadow, that we already are born with the shadow and just gets larger and larger and larger. We add to it until we reach a point where we need to get rid of it. And there is no need for ego, but we have one. It appears. It's not who we are, but it appears. It's who we identify as. Hey, HS, how are you, my friend? Neil says, and also I think regardless of who you pray or devote the soul to, ultimately acts as a compass, which gives us hope and will to survive and be a good person. I like that, Neil. That was beautifully said, beautifully written. Adam says, Heart Matters is a good point for a baby that is very, Heart Matters. Point for a baby that is very intense psychologically is when they realize they are not their mother. So much psychology is based on that moment. We could say, metaphysically, that's our first realization of separation. Aldec says, movement, it's okay, bro. We understand what you're saying. Be respectful about it. Thanks for being here, HS. Aldec says, drop and roll. Adam says, Neil, are you familiar with the measurement of the pyramids? Giza being basically, you will hear this planet crazy, geological, scientific, accurate thing. Interesting. Well, what do you think about significance of pyramids or triangles in ancient civilization, and what's common among them related to the geometry in general? I don't have much thoughts about it, to be honest with you. However, if you show up Tuesday evening, same time, and ask our friend Squirrel Sniper, he will definitely have something to say about that. It's a good thing. I don't have to know a whole lot. I just have to know a lot. I just have to know a lot of people who know a whole lot. Super Champ says, "Good night, men and ladies. Good night, Super Champ. I hope all is well with you." Everyone's saying good night, and everyone's saying hi. Adam says, "Heart Matters. I think you would enjoy sacred geometry." Peter says, "For mine is kind of, I don't know, metaphysics is something abstract. Here in Romania, um, I was from the beginning introduced to Orthodox religion." What was the? That's okay, Petri. We're just exploring stuff. But even the Bible has its own metaphysics. 7 days, 6 days, creation of the universe, 7 day of rest. Tiger King says, "Eric, what you did for me made me cry in a good way. Meant love to me." We certainly do love you, Tiger King. Barefoot says, "Sister Yogi dropping knowledge in his basement." All of you guys are. Petrie asking those big questions. Neil coming in heavy and strong. Lots of knowledge. Adam. Every one of you guys. Just an Afro wearing yogi doing burpees in his basement. Adam says, "Barefoot brother, I don't like cheese either. You awesome." Neither do I. Neil says, "What do you do for a living?" This is it, Neil. I basically live stream. I'm trying to coast on dwindling savings until I am 61 and collect Social Security, which I've paid in most of my life. It still won't be a whole lot, though, but it should be just enough. I'd like to talk about that sometime too, Sniper. Missing books from the Bible. I bet you Adam would love to talk about that. It's funny, there's extra books in Course of Miracles too. Different versions. There's the original, unedited. There is the Hugh Lynn Casey version. Sniper says, "You're seeing it, Neil? He's a YouTuber." Yep, I talk. Neil says, "I can sense you're a good person. May God fulfill your wishes." Thank you, Neil. Thank you so much. And you as well, Neil. You know what? Just sending you some prayers at this moment. You said 100 is an awesome name. Hassan, did I say that right? Is the lamp of guidance and the ship of salvation. Thank you, my friend. We got some love from you said. Thank you so much. Guys, I'm going to play a song from Toy Pops because we're going to get ready to go to bed. It's been a little bit since we've had a song. You ready? Here we go.
Guess the song and guess the artist. 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now, stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountains should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me, oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now, stand by me, stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now, stand by me, stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now, stand by me, stand by me. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. I hope you guys loved it.
Our friend Toy Pups. Yes, Walkenberry, you time travel to 1963. Let's see if we can fix things. Let's see if we can get it right this time. Only you can save JFK. I think that was 62 though, right? You're welcome, Petrie. L-Dog says, it was epic. Emil, I think I was calling you Emily. I apologize. Says, you a Trump fan? No, not particularly. But you know what? I have good friends and family members who are. I'm not a fan of politics. Some might say it's a necessary evil, and maybe so, but let's get rid of necessary evils nowadays. Rock Barefoot says we're about to say that about JFK. 63, gotcha. Zephyr says, Emil, what's it like to pick a side? It's been so long I can't remember. There's no going back now, Sniper. Once you are sideless, man. Emil comes in strong, not original, but strong. Blue Moon says, did my last message leave you? Toy Pups, you are the best. She is the best. You know what? She couldn't make it here to come up, but she still wanted to be a part. She still wanted to show how much she loves the channel. She wanted to show what a good friend she is. Can you suggest me YouTubers who can guide me in my research for the significance of geometry among religions and civilizations? I can't, but I bet you Sniper can. Sniper, can you help our friend Neil? He would like suggestions for YouTubers who can guide him in his research on the significance of geometry among religions and civilizations. Would Archaic be able to help with that? Sniper says, try tomorrow, Emil. Yeah. Maybe he could come up with something original. Let's see. Dingle says, it's me. Yogi, it's me. You got to help me out with that. However, I appreciate you coming in. I just subscribed to you. Vulcan says, impressive, Emil. Last time I heard that, I laughed so I fell off my dinosaur. Neil says, thanks. You're welcome, Neil. Neil says, most definitely, I'll drop a link on his post. All right. Hey, Neil, Sniper's got you covered. Oh, 8:35. How are you, my friend? It's been a long time. Hey, 35. You are. Where are you located again? Odex is walking so old he had a pet dinosaur. Armada says, never heard of gateway tapes. Neither have I. Petra says, unfortunately, here is late, 1:39 a.m. I have to go to sleep, so I salute to you all. Salute to you, my friend. Thank you so much for coming in. Tip says, we got the transcript, Adam, and all the diagrams. 8:35 says, oh, hi, are you still fishing? Man, I don't know. Has it been like a year since you've been here? Maybe not. It's been at least last winter. Adam says, there's a great TED Talk on sacred geometry. I don't remember exactly. What's with the name change, 8:35? Always fishing. I'm glad to hear that. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for finding me again. Adam says, after school is also a great source for thought. Petra says, thank you. Bye. Petra, I hope you come back and hang out with us again. I am live 3 times a day. I have not missed a day since I started. Uh, 8:35 says, how is Stuart doing? Stuart is doing pretty good. He's got a new house or a new place to live. I don't see him much on my channel. I think he pops up on occasion. I try to pop up on his on occasion, but we still message each other now and then. Catching me up on some important stuff. Parmenter says, I just read about them. I do find the concept interesting. I have developed my own strategies for enhanced focus, for problem solving, sleep using graphic representation, repeating others' ideas, etc. Interesting, Heart Matters. Does not surprise me. You seem to have a nice mix of intuitiveness and logic. That is really quite fascinating. Blue Moon says, Eric, you're a top guy. The way you are with people, you should be so proud of yourself. You're a good guy. Thank you mean the world to me. Know what you mean to me. Thanks. Well, thank you, Blue Moon. Thank you for that. It's nice to be appreciated. 8:35 says, can you tell him that I'm really sorry for the things that I've done? I will tell him that. Maybe you'll get a chance to make amends if you feel like you need to. Neil says, thanks all. Good night. Godspeed. Hey, Neil, come by and hang out with us again, please. Tempest says, Adam, I'm trying the sound tech with a 3-tone. It balances both hemispheres. Have you ever tried any of the Hemisync tapes? They're actually put out by, it's either the ARA, which is the Edgar Casey Institute, or it's the Robert Monroe, who Sniper is probably familiar with. He was one of the people to really put remote viewing on the map. Sorry. My cat is staring at me as if she's up to no good. She's a cat, so of course she's up to no good. All right, that was the first yawn of the evening. Walking Bear says, "Good night, Neil." Adam says, "I embrace my laziness. Maybe I should quit." I embrace my laziness too. I fully embrace the Taoist concept of Wu Wei, least effort. I need do nothing, yet everything gets done. And of course, Course of Miracles says, "Do nothing." I take that to heart. Heart Matter says, "One idea that I like the most. Um, one idea that I like is that most complex problems have many solutions, and it's more important to avoid the worst 10% of solutions than to find the best possible solution." Interesting. Where did that originate? Heart Matters. What do you think of Occam's razor? Stepper says, "To Tiger King, still waiting if you want to, or do you want me to Google it and find it out myself?" Walking Bear says, "I've been researching flow state. I find it very interesting." Me too. And Adam and I talked about that. Have you read the, I can't pronounce his last name, Mihai Cheka Chong Chimmy? Like every consonant and every vowel all thrown together, stringed along. Hold on. I will copy his name. Hey, Adam, are you familiar with Gary Renard? I was talking about him. He wrote The Disappearance of the Universe. All right. In just a few minutes, I'm going to go to bed. If anyone wants to come up and pronounce this name for me before I go to bed, please feel free. Adam says, "I don't think so." He's a wonderful teacher of A Course in Miracles. Some people have found his book, The Disappearance of the Universe, to be the most easily understood, comprehensive book dealing with A Course in Miracles out there. He said he would like to come up and talk. He said interview. I don't really interview people. In December when his new book comes out. That would be huge. No one can pronounce that guy's last name. I bet you can, Walking Bear. I'm glad you knew who it was. Blue Moon says, "Crown, what it stands for." Is that on here? With that shock? You don't know what you mean. Yeah, it's a Polish name. Is it Polish? It's either Polish or I guess in the time it was called Czechoslovakia, right? What is it called now? Tina says supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. There you go, Nino, just for you. Adam says, "Tiger King, do you like Cat Stevens?" I love Cat Stevens. I wish I could sing Cat Stevens on one of the singing nights, but I can't sing Cat Stevens. I don't know why. He doesn't have that complex of a voice. Very unique, very beautiful. Yawn number 2. Occam's razor applies to motivations. It rarely applies to scientific problems. Why is that? Heart Matters. You don't think that finding the simplest solution in a scientific problem would be I don't want to say the easiest route. It's interesting. Hey, Heart Matters, I always appreciate your input. You are a nice balance to me, for sure. Adam says he became a Muslim while he was a pop star. Quit producing albums to hang out. To hang out with Cat Stevens. That would be so good. He's back making music now, though. I listened to All Dog. He could mod sniper. All Dog's a good guy. Yawn number 3. That's the sign, guys. Scientific problems are solved through understanding the end processes. But wouldn't the Occam's razor state that it's I guess to simplify it, which would be Occam razoring Occam's razor. That's the simplest solution. Keep things as simple as possible. Walker Bear says, "What about Newton's flaming laser sword? Did Newton have a flaming razor sword? How come no one taught me that before?" Adam says, "I wish politicians would listen to scientists more. The best use of recycled plastic is roads, not freaking petroleum. It's the worst 10%. It's going to get worse, Adam. Nowadays, science has no place in politics, which is sad. Absolutely sad. I wonder what our friend Heart Matters has to say about that. I didn't know Cat Stevens was making more albums, but then I recently found out there's a non-carbon based life form on Mammoth Cave. I meant to look that up and I forgot. Thanks for reminding me. Scientific problems are like mazes. They have a beginning and an end, but the middle can take you down many dead ends. Hey, do you really think they have an end, or that we just give up questioning? That we get the solution that we want, so we don't take it any further. I'm not saying that's the case, just sort of thinking out loud. You actually sort of have inspired me. Not sort of have, you have. If something can't be settled by experiment or observation, it's not worthy of debate. Interesting. All those for the sniper. If it's religion, probably 12. I found this out from Sniper like a year, maybe more. All the stuff that we can be doing with hemp. We can actually have buildings made entirely of hemp. Hey, Heart Matters. So you familiar with an Adam? Actually, any of you guys? Buckminster Fuller. I stifled that yawn number 4. Hey, welcome here. Sometime I'd like to hear your own stories about being in that flow state. Pippa says, how old was she when she married Joseph Blue King? All Dog says, it's all true. Bugmaster 4. Buckminster Fuller. I guess we could call people called him Bucky. We could call him an innovator. Adam says we could live in bamboo houses. I'm in. Give each other back rubs like a bonoboo. I want to live in a buckyball too. Ralph says you like Iranians. I do like Iranians. We have a very good friend, Muhammad, who is from Iran. Beautiful family. think you might be interested in some of his stuff. The Geometric Dome. Adam says, I love the Iranians. I've known a couple personally. Cynthia says, I can't Tiger King because you can't say what you said to me with the same paradox. Hey, on Tuesday, Sniper, ask Tim Freak about paradox. He calls it paralogical. Living in a sense of paralogical. Being able to see both sides. Being able to see the paradox of life itself. Walker Bear says, best feel I ever had was working at my forge. I think for me, it might have been ultra running. Adam says, I feel like I should apologize on behalf of my country for the involvement on Iran, but where would you stop? All right, guys, we're going to wind things down now. I'm going to go to bed. Thinking about some ibuprofen. It's been a few weeks. Well, it's been at least 2 weeks. I was taking it too often because of arthritis in my jaw and inflammation in my back. The jaw's actually feeling better. The back's been hurting a lot. Made the mistake of doing headstands. My yoga practice today, I probably should not have. The 10% rule applies to situations when you have hundreds of problems to solve and keeps you efficient. It's really worth finding the optimal solution to a single problem at the expense of others. Gotcha. L Dog says, Blue Moon, done well relaxing. Walker Bear says, have a great Sunday night, everyone. Get some good sleep. Thank you. You too. Adam says, dang, Walker Bear, I went to hang out at your forge. I love hammering hot steel. You'd make a good blacksmith, Adam. I made a knife when I was a kid out of a file. It was basically a pointy. It was basically a pointy file. It had an edge to it, but not a very good edge. But I was so proud of it. It would not cut butter, but hey, it was pointy and it had an edge. My parents bought me a book for Christmas. It might have been 10 or 11. Make your own outdoor equipment. I made a bow and arrow. Made all kinds of stuff. None of it was ever very good, but man, I had fun making it. Greetings from Iceland. Hey, you might be the first person to come in, Hor, from Iceland. Greetings, my friend. Thanks for popping in. We're just saying goodnight, but I'm glad I waited long enough to get you to come in and say hi. Hoodlo and Thor. I appreciate you saying hi. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap things up. I'm going to bed. Thank you so much. Heavy snow. I hope you are warm and safe. Walker Bear says you have to temper a file before it makes a good knife, unless you want to anneal and harden it again. Yeah. At 11, my parents would not give me access to really, really hot, flaming stuff because they were unusually smart. Me and Flames, Wu is pronounced Wu Wei. I've heard it both. I've actually heard it from long-term Taoist masters who say Wu Wei. I can go either way. I am certainly not above mispronouncing things. I'm certainly not above mispronouncing. Adam says, I want Yogi to do a live with you as an ex-sculptor. I miss all the heat, man. That would be interesting. Yeah, you really don't need to block anyone. I don't think. It's good practice. People are supposed to get on your nerves. It's what they do best. Imagine if instead of blocking everyone who triggered you, you got rid of your triggers. And you can. You can definitely get rid of your triggers. Adam says, I made a good one and I made a curved one knife. Wow. Welcome says, just throw it in the oven at 400 for 2 hours, then grind it, shape and sharpen. What would I grind it with? I still have the book on making your own outdoor equipment. I'll bring it out. Remind me sometime, Walking Bear. Adam says, good night, old dog. I love your comments and shorts and thoughts. Angle grinder. Well, that's why we practice, Blue Moon. We practice not getting triggered. Take a breath. Whenever you feel triggered by anyone, take a breath. In through the nose, sigh through the mouth. And remind yourself, I can choose peace. I can choose peace instead of this. I am not Hindu, my friend. I've heard that Johnny Sins thing before. Odok says, good night, percolated fish. Persuaded fish? What have you persuaded them to do? Or a bench grinder or a belt grinder? They're easier on the hands. Gotcha. Odok says, walk-in angle grinders are deadly. Are they? That's not good. Why does it turn out all the stuff that I want is deadly? I wanted to get an electric bike, and Kat said I would blow myself up. Musuke says yogi is a Hindu term. It is a Hindu term. Well, you know what? Yoga predates Hinduism. So it's a yoga term predating Hinduism. Heart Matters says sleep well, Yogi. Thank Heart Matters. Let's see. Kastria? Did I pronounce that right? What job do you do? This is it. I'm a full-time live streamer. Walker Bear says, oh dog, I'm a surgeon with an angle grinder. Persuaded fish. L Dog, Persuader of Fish. That's a good title. L Dog, Persuader of Fish. Hey, Michael. Michael is back. Hey there, Yogi. Guess what? I'm premiering my first paranormal Instagram in over 2 years tomorrow at 12 p.m. I hope I can. That would be 1 my time. If I probably won't make it at 1. However, I will visit, Michael. I will definitely watch it. I'll catch it on the replay for sure. What were you doing before this? I had my own business. I had my own personal training business. I went to people's homes and they went to my home and I would train them. A lot of kettlebell stuff, a lot of bodyweight stuff. I trained a lot of ultra runners. I trained some now professional rugby players. I didn't train them for rugby. They were kids. I trained them for wrestling and for football. All of them got scholarships. But I had to cut my business down, taking care of my father. I was his caregiver. He had congestive heart failure, but he wasn't dying from it for a long time until it hit him pretty strong. And then with the COVID shutdown, because my dad's condition, because at this point he was literally dying, I could not bring people over to train. I could not go to their house to train. So this is it. Yoga originated from Indus Valley civilization, which was Hindu. Yes, but it originated before Hinduism originated from. Yoga is really sort of separate from Hinduism. It's more of a shamanic practice. the gods are the same, metaphysically, philosophically, but it really its own thing. Some would say yoga's always existed. Before time itself, yoga existed. Hey, Lucy. All right, I got to go to bed. Mrs. K, come on by and hang out with us again. If you want to. Yoga's art of human movement. I would take it even deeper, Walking Bear. Yoga originates from the word yog, join. Bhagavad Gita talks about 4 paths of yoga. There's actually quite a few more. And it is about realizing once again our divinity, our divine union with God. More of a meditative path than anything. The asanas, the postures, if you go to Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, the postures, I believe, in 197 sutras, I think the postures are only mentioned 3 times, which shows that not a significant portion of yoga. They were originally meant to be used so we could sit in meditation for longer periods of time. They later developed into their own thing. Valuable. But you could be a yogi without ever doing a single posture. Paramahansa Yogananda didn't really teach postures, although he was a master of postures. He did teach an energetic system. One-legged pigeon makes me think I'm going to meet God. Who knows? Sniper says, "Night, Eric. Another great week. Another great live." Thank you, Sniper. Looking forward to Tuesday. Tomorrow's going to be with Miss Flipper. All right. Thanks, guys. I'm going to see everyone tomorrow. I hope coming by, hang out with me. Love you guys.